All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, gonna give you guys update that somebody asked me about. So we're gonna do a video on the Gervonta Tank Davis Lamont Roach fight and the news that the fight has been pushed back. This news is very interesting news because it doesn't make much sense to me, except for the fact that we know it's time to attack Gervonta Davis again because the fighters that they support flunked this last weekend. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where there is an anxiously awaited rematch between Gervonta Davis, the WBA world champion, he didn't take the super, WBA world champion, lightweight world champion, and the 130-pound WBA world champion, Lamont Roach. They had a very, very competitive fight, entertaining fight a few months ago. So people are saying, is Gervonta Davis going to rematch Lamont Roach, or is he going to run off and try to fight Jake Paul? And also, there's steady reports coming out that the fight between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis has been postponed. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It means a lot. All right, so for people with common sense, this is going to be something easy to digest. If you are just somebody that is on the Gervonta Davis hate bandwagon, the well-funded Gervonta Davis hate bandwagon, you may not like my take. You may not like my take too much, but doesn't keep it from being the truth. Gervonta Davis, we should know, is the biggest name in boxing right now. The biggest name, because he is the one that actually has fights that people are actually interested in seeing. As opposed to what Canelo Alvarez is doing, which is hiding up in the zone and doing a bunch of stuff people ain't asking him to do. So you can argue that it's Canelo. I don't think it is Canelo. I think it's firmly Gervonta Davis. But unfortunately for fans of Gervonta Davis, fortunately for Gervonta Davis's pocketbook, I think, but unfortunately for those people that support Gervonta, Gervonta is the constant target of an organized media campaign, spearheaded, I do believe, by Turkey Al-Sheikh's squad to diminish his worth. Same way they try to build up other people's worth by paying them ridiculous amounts of money that they know they don't deserve, or spending ridiculous amounts of money. I heard Turkey Al-Sheikh could have lost as much as $60 million on those fight cards that he did last weekend. So those fake campaigns are also partnered with an affirmative, because they're trying to build up those guys, but they're also trying to tear down their competition. And Gervonta Davis, if you want to call him their competition, because honestly, they're really no competition for Gervonta if you want to look at actually who's making money and not who's throwing it away and burning it down. But if you want to talk about who's actually making money, Gervonta Davis, they're not even really Gervonta Davis's competition. All they are is a media ploy and people pushing this idea in this Turkey Al-Sheikh DAZN propaganda they've been pushing. Well, Gervonta Davis has this fight with Lamont Roach, so you should not be surprised at all that reports come out that the fight is postponed. That is postponed. Now, at the same time, there's been no fight announcement made for the fight. This is where I'm telling you that logical people will have this easy time with this. But people that are insistent haters will have a hard time with it. If you don't announce a fight in public, if you don't say Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach will take place September 12th of 2025 at T-Mobile Arena. Tickets will be available. Do you know how you get notified about the fights that are taking place? The promoter tells you the fight is taking place. These people want you to believe that a fight has been delayed that has not even been announced yet. It can't be delayed because it's not finalized. They want to remove from the PBC any ability to try to find a venue that works for them, to try to negotiate people on undercards, to get the date right for the TV, to make sure that all of the people that work on your program are all available on that date, right? You go through the process of setting up a fight. But when somebody comes out and says, oh, they're going to do this fight on this date. This is what an inside source tells me. They're going to do it on this date. This, even if an inside source gave it to them, doesn't necessarily mean that was a finalized date. That could have been a date they were targeting. But hey, it winds up that date that they were targeting didn't work. So they moved it to another weekend. Is that postponing a fight? Absolutely not. That is not postponing a fight. That is like saying you're trying to bake a cake and you have to run to the store and go get some eggs. That means you postponed making no. You're in the process of making something. You realize you don't have an ingredient. You go to the store, you bring the egg back, you crack the egg, you make the cake. You didn't postpone making the cake. All you did was you had to go do something and you didn't take into consideration how much time it would take to do it. So yeah, you wanted the cake done at 5:00, but you didn't postpone it. What you did is it just took longer than you thought it was going to take. And then you decided to call people and say, hey man, come pick up the cake. You didn't postpone anything. You just thought it would be done by a time. Things played out in a way that it wasn't done at that time. But yet you have a bunch of haters on the outside looking at you all day long, whispering in everybody's ear about, he postponed making the cake. Oh, he doesn't want to make the cake. Oh, big news. He doesn't have enough money to buy eggs. That's the nonsense going on around Gervonta Davis, man. And it is, at this point, it is absolutely ridiculous. Because one thing you know for sure, Gervonta Davis, as long as he's healthy and alive and decides to do it, is going to fight somebody else. But do not call it a postponed fight if they don't give you a date originally. Just because you can make up a date or somebody associated with it can make up a date or a guess at what they want to do doesn't mean that they've agreed to do it. So maybe some of you guys that are behind the scenes need to shut up for a little while just until the decision is made. But you don't want to shut up. You know why? Because you want to cast doubt on Gervonta Davis every step of the way. What was his pay-per-views? Low. When is this fight going to be? He doesn't want it. He's going to duck. He's ducking Lamont Roach for Jake Paul. And the fight's delayed. And the PBC is out of money. It's just absolutely ridiculous what they do to this kid. And I'm more than happy to dedicate videos talking about it. Again, and I'm going to repeat this. You cannot postpone something when you've not sent out notifications that you set the date. Until they officially announce what the date is, that date can move because that date's not official. Once it becomes official, if they then move it off that date and say, oh, we thought it could be this date, and we move it to another date, then you can say it's postponed. I don't care if Gervonta Davis tweets out a date on Twitter. I don't care until the PBC says this is the date of the fight, until Amazon says this is the date of the fight. And then they don't do it and something goes wrong, then say the fight was canceled or the fight was postponed because of an injury or something like that. But they're just putting this stuff in the headline to continually sow doubt about Gervonta Davis every step of the way. They say beautiful things and great things about Devin Haney, give him bend over backwards in order to give him a positive interpretation of anything that happens, right? Rolly Romero beats Ryan Garcia and somehow magically Devin Haney was the big winner, even though the Ryan Garcia fight that he was hoping to get paid for took a tank. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis's fight with Lamont Roach was supposed to be nobody wanted to see it. It was terrible. He was not competition. He's going to blow over him. But then, so we don't even want to see the fight. But when the fight happens, it's an interesting fight. You dog Gervonta, and then you dog him the entire time up until the next fight by arguing that he's going to duck Gervonta Davis. All to once again lift up your guy and tear down Gervonta at the same time. It is the most ridiculous garbage that I've ever seen because it is one-sided and completely one-sided, and it's coming from the general media. Unlike Floyd, who even the general media didn't like him for sure, but a lot of the pressure came from people that were legitimately fans of Manny Pacquiao. There ain't no legitimate large number of fans of Devin Haney, so you guys can stop acting like there's some demand for this guy to do anything. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.